centric rather. Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes, sorry, I had to start recording. Yeah, now you can continue.
Yeah. Actually, the main centric rather it is based on what is locally available, and the wild greens are an important part of their diet. Actually, earlier it was, but slowly, it is being disappearing. So the study says, and the basic part through the Aja member now, out of that 9,000 the plant species, as you can see in my slide, there are some leaves, the seasonal and uncultivated leaves, which is over here around kudrum or chakor, flower in purple color, or brahmi like a bengsag, locally named the bengsag, and sunflower, which is another the type of the jute plant, and around 20 to 30 variety of, the green leafy, which is coming the seasons, and all are the uncultivated. I'm using in my place in the first time. People, the tribal people among the tribal communities, it is being used in a seasonal manner, not in a regular manner, but they are using. Just I want to put across the society through my Aja Memba initiative. So the, as you see in the third para of the slide, the basically the habit also it is changing, and that causes the disappearing all type of the basically the local uncultivated food by the people, those who are collecting and harvesting. The next slide, please. Hello. Yeah. So what is the approach in that regard? If we have the numbers of forest produce or the seasonal produce, so how we are producing, how we are, what is our approach through Aja Memba to bringing in a, in a plate, in that in a commercial, very commercial way of to have all across the society, not only for the tribal or the local dwellers, but I am in that way, I am bringing all these foods, uncultivated or forgotten foods, in farm to forest to plate approach. So this is, you can see, there all are the seasonal foods in this area. This is the, we call this the locally, the very traditional name, the Mahua Bhapal, the Mahua, there are the Mahua. And another is the beans, the lantin, the Pahari lantin, which comes, originally, from the forest. This is the traditional menu, the Mahua Bhapal. People using it in a season when Mahua comes, which is very healthy, and already it's being disappeared. Generally, hardly people, those who have no any sources, only they eat. But earlier it was used by the all community, but now it is being already disappeared. Just nowadays, it is now in a symbolic manner. Just yes, महुआ आ रहा है तो हमें महुआ भफल खाना है, in our first or customary mode. Another, you can see, this is the forest produce, the putu, the earth star, and this is the mushroom. This is the season to collecting, harvesting of the mushroom, the traditional mushroom and earth star. The locally it's called the putu. So all this I'm bringing in my restaurant in a forest to farm plate approach. So as you see in this slide, so next, yes, the next slide, would you please? Yeah. So this is reviving all about the Aja Memba, the reviving food promotion culture. Actually, this is my slogan: reviving food, promoting culture, sustaining generation. I mean, just it's its approach, or you can say it's I mean, wider objective or the mission, keeping the uncultivated or traditional food in a present situation so that it will bring change for our coming generation. I mean, it's a type of knowledge, transfer of knowledge to for our generation, because finally they are only the our pillar for our future, you know. So this is all about this. Actually, Ajamemba, you can say the Ajamemba. It's actually Kuduk language spoken by Urao tribe, which means the great taste, the delicious. So basically named Ajamemba, that concept came from there. And when we talk about, it's all about the end to end solution. Means bringing it from forest to farm to the plate approach to the all section of the society. No, not only those who are only collecting and harvesting the uncultivated or forgotten foods. This is not only for them, but through this Ajamemba, I'm making the people aware about what is exactly diversification of the tribal food, or you can say in the local food which already we have. So next yeah, slide. Yeah. So next, through this all this forgotten food, how it's become the change maker. I mean, it's a approach of the food entrepreneur. I'm working on also the food politics and how it is actually become my motivation, you know. So as I want to share my family background, a daughter of a mother and a father who are great concisor of, I mean, Adivasi food and repository of the traditional knowledge. I I earn all these things from my parents only, actually. Through it is actually inherited, not I learned from anywhere. It was actually inherited. I learned from there, from my childhood only. What type of the seasonal foods, what is the season to particular harvesting of the particular herbs. So from there only, I earned all these things, the traditional knowledge. And secondly, yes, because I did that, I am the rural development professional and I can relate better because I have the vast experience working in the rural area, basically the among the tribal community, more than the 15 years of experience. So, and it was the turning point for me when I got the first winner in Adi Samagam on the occasion of International Indigenous Day. And from there, I started. I thought, okay, really, it can become a change maker. There is a lots of potentiality to work with the lost food. I mean, lost food, or there is a chances to come to work in revival of this all forgotten food. And further, as per the demand, as per the acceptance of the what I am doing, I participated in International Film Festival at in Goa, provided further inputs and booster. So it was a wide appreciation received from there only. And further, in 2019 only, I got opportunity to participate in International Tira Madre in Sapporo there, because I am also associated with the campaign which is running across the world. I'm the member of International Slow Food, and this is the only one center in Jharkhand, the Ajamemba Slow Food Community. So this is actually, it has become the change maker. I mean, this is all my the motivation part. So next slide, please. So further, actually, what is Yes, we have all these things available, which comes in seasonal. So what is actually unique about the Aja member? Yes, it is really different. It is really unique than other restaurant. First, it's first time the woman founded, led and managed initiative, tribal interests and for the society in general. First of its kind of restaurant. It actually Adivasi view of harvest is not about maximizing but taking as per the requirement. Actually, this is basically talking about their, harvesting and the collection part. Because as you can see, the chakor, the scientific name is chakor is the cassia tara, and there is the katai, the vanguria, some scientific name is. So actually, I want to focus in that the chakor. Traditionally, the first harvest in it happens in the when the time festival day, the local festival that's name is the Karam. This festival is coming in the month of September after the rainy season in the finishing part. No, the Karam festival is coming. In the particular that festival day, that is the traditionally and customary that day people the traditionally they collect that chakor leaf actually, and the collection part typically named is as a duharna. The duharna people call it there is a karam parab, and we go for the chakor duharne jayenge, and after that the processing part is being done. After that people we have the chakor, we actually keep in after drying this and making its a powder, and we keeping this, and after that only after completion of the karam festival now we used to. So I particularly maximum the harvesting custom I generally another is the kattai sag. It is harvested at a time when the leaves attaining full maturity. And interesting is that when the leaves comes, the will understand the type of the leaf. If the leaf has any holes, that means it will give a good taste only. The pesticide यदि कीड़ा खा रहा है, traditionally if the कीड़ा खा रहा है तो people will understand कि it will give a good taste. The free of pesticide, So these all things actually I'm maintaining to collecting in the the processing in all these things when I am going for the forgotten leaves and the seasonal leaves. In a sourcing our products at Aja member, we do follow everything, the collection, procurement, and do not do it off the tradition just to maximize our restaurant sales. So at we can say it's such a harvest or the ritualistic, deeply culturally embedded. Actually, I'm following all these the same things because I believe because all it is not only the custom, it is also related with the nutritional part and also related with the medicinal. So apart from nutritional and medicinal, I also follow the customary the system. So please next slide. So these all are about the uniqueness of the Aja Mamba. The first part in the processing part. So please next slide, please. So here you can see another uniqueness. As you're seeing the forest, there is a sal leaf. We with our team used to go to the collect the leaf actually. Our team we went for collection of the. Sometime we used to go nearby my restaurant from here. Around 4 to 5 kilometers we have the forest, and sometimes we also used to go to collect the green leaf, which we use or in a packing to serving our food. The biscuits, Basically, we actually in a promotional, actually the promotion of the native plant, like a traditional rice or millet, sometimes we go to use the any other field to ask to plant the native like a rice or the ragi or any millet or any, I mean, the seasonal plants. And in other box you're seeing we have planted, I mean, we have nursery sakwa, the sal wheat. And this is our the traditional tree, you know, in very ritual value, the sal leaf in Jharkhand. So we have also in our process, I mean, Ajamemba, we also protect the plant also, and we also plant the native tree also. So here we can, you can see the plate, the presentation. We also maintain the eco-friendly, I mean, the serving part also. We use the green leaf, sal leaf. So basically, we all are, I mean, Ajamemba uniqueness. I mean, all this the uniqueness of the Ajamemba. Basically, we maintain the total eco-friendly environment and also the recyclable. So this is the next slide, please. Yeah. So this is all about my uniqueness, how we are processing the things in Ajamemba. So there are some few achievements regarding all this my initiative. Doing this, working with the forgotten food or the lost food. I'm working since last 4 years. So there are some little achievements in this regard. So like youth articulation about identity and the culture through food as a means. Ajamemba space provided a platform for discussion and a debate, live experience within 9 years. Actually, it's reached out the discourse on indigenous food of the Jharkhand to more than 25,000 people, including at the international level, and have exposed more than 10,000 people to indigenous cuisine in the last 5 years. Like example, International Film Festival, I mean, including the founded the first slow food chapter in Jharkhand as a part of international slow food movement. The other one is the represented Jharkhand Adivasi food first time and cuisine and discourse through its panel discussion at the International Tiramidle held at Sapporo, Japan, an indigenous gathering on slow food organized by the Slow Food International in the year of 2019, where from 130 country people were gathered over there. So first time I represented, from Jharkhand side or from India to represent the lost food. I brought there the uncultivated leaves seasonally. So it was for me, it's a kind of some exposure or the I could able to brought my forgotten food up to that levels where people were gathered from the 130 countries. The secondly, the panelist at the Salon de Gastro online on the importance of the water and slow food. Actually, in the 2020 when the lockdown was started in that time, so I was the panel member, particular on the slow food, basically the lost food. It's about the basically uncultivated, local, seasonal, which is being disappearing. I mean, among the present society. Several initiatives inspired by Ajamemba initiatives are taking shapes, like a restaurant webinars, news articles, special coverage by the newspaper Times of India, like that. So this is actually given the people the foresightness, I mean the space, the opportunity. There are other people are, they are emerging to open this type of the restaurant And in the webinars also, there are lots of news articles. People, they got the, the input in that regard. This can be also, the slow food, the local food cuisine. The lots of media people actually, they got the opportunity to bring this whole new concept on their the page or the in the channel, and the coverage in, and also coverage in national media like NDTV History Channel or Rating Channel, Lalan Talk, Doordarshan, or the News 18 also, Australian news. So this some are the some what exactly we could able to do in the period of 4 years. So please, next slide. Yes. So where there are some achievements, so not some we can some learn something. So at the same time, we have the challenges also. So basically, the enterprise, there are the hurdles. No, the social societal view. Can an Adivasi be an entrepreneur, or that to a woman actually? The reduced access to the institutional finance. Basically, this is not for single. This financial institutional support is for every the emerging entrepreneur. So I'm also facing the same. The seasonal disruptions, negative impact of production or resource, example like a mushroom or rugula. This time actually, slowly it is being disappear everything. When we talk about climate change, it has the adverse effect. This time also we can talk about in this year only. This is the harvesting season of the traditional mushroom and earth star, the putu rugula. Actually, due to the early rainy season, there has been the negative effect. The people, those who were the collector, they also, went to the loss. It is not in that level, so that people, or quality also, so that people can earn money in their year what they were expecting than the earlier, because of the climate is slowly being affected. So this is another part. We can say we are the people also affecting the climate, to removing or to to negligency of our the system, or the, we can say, the system, or the collection of the traditional things. We are facing all these type of problem. Availability of the skilled and human resource. This is actually the basic part. For everywhere, the fast disappearing of the traditional knowledge about ingredients and the cooking process. I'm focusing on my cuisine part also, but in general, we can say the coming days, the youths, they are running behind everything in a Western culture, or in a fast food mode. So this is very tough to running this type of initiative actually. So the knowledge where the coming youth, they don't know, actually they don't want to do work with this all traditional, that type of the initiative. They don't have even knowledge of that, how to cook, what is actually. This is very disappearing actually, disappointment actually. The people, the coming generation, they don't know even the things in the locally which is coming in a basic primary things. Even they don't know, the coming generation people. So this is actually the knowledge transfer, the knowledge, the knowing of the traditional, uncultivated things. The coming generation, they are lagging behind. They are running away from all these things. The next is the procuring raw material actually. This comes in a seasonal manner, or the uncultivated food. So it has also the disorganized supply chain and the control over the middleman, where there is the huge or the in the mainstreaming there is some organized system runs, no, but in this sector which I'm working, the uncultivated or the seasonal things, the locally available, it is the very disorganized sector, and where the middleman, the dominance of the middleman, this is actually the main part. They running. This is actually, this affects also the mid through to the intervention of the middleman and the demand of the market side. The immature collection. Before collection of the every produce, it hampers to the next year. Production. So all these are affecting basically the natural growing of the uncultivated, forgotten food actually, and the quality also. It affects also the quality. And this pandemic time, when the people know about the बहुत ही healthy है, immunity booster है, uncultivated food, yeah, traditional food, and like a mad people running behind. So it's happy. It's affect the collection also, collection of all these the uncultivated production or the forest produce. We can say I also want to focus the broader issue in that regard. The extractive development, loss of resource base due to forest destruction, mining, or the industrialization. Young generation getting alienated through food system, adverse health impact, mental health also. Due to promotion of commercial crop through PDS or government schemes, significant impact in changing local dietary practices. And secondly, the government apathy at the policy level to the promote sustainable Adivasi food. Actually, the government is also not interested how to bring the uncultivated food in through the PDS system or through the main course, mainstreaming of the food, so that though they know everything, the nutritional and medicinal value. This is actually, I can say that it's all about the food politics. The next is the food blogging. Also, sometimes it's affect increasing visibility, but less focus on sustainability. What should be the right discourse? Actually, what is I'm telling on my prospects, my experience about actually this is one side. This is actually very good. So promoting all these traditional or local food, uncultivated food, but at the same time, they are going into the market side, marketability of this production due to the high class people, demand of the high class people. All this uncultivated food, now it has come in a new concept, the superfood. In that regard only they are promoting, but they also need focus on their sustainability, and they also need to aware the people in that prospect. So the next slide. So there are the challenges. So in that, keeping all these throughout my journey or my initiative, I have some vision in my future. So yes, promote tribal food as a means of integration in a platter. First in the tribal household, strive for a policy changes to support integration of the local food into the government schemes like ICDS, PDS. Example, CCD model in Odisha, like they are working on the millet mission. So they're really very good work they are doing over there. Mobilization of the rural and the urban youth, food promotion. Actually, the basic bearer and they actually need to mobilize all these things. Basic things to mobilize: first, the rural youth or the urban youth. Create direct employment for Adivasi women through restaurant chain and product diversification, like a value added products like a mahua laddu, madwa laddu, mahua cake or madwa, like all these the value, the pickles, the forest produce pickles, like that. A skill building on tribal cuisine, including fusion items, like first time uh, Ajamemba, through Ajamemba, we experimented the millet dumpling. So this is also very demanding item to our customers. The next is the support, create an indigenous economic ecosystem of the tribal entrepreneurs that can cater off to different food and non-food related service and ensure better income to back-end producers through improved market access and link to one production system. Actually, this is actually need to make the on ecosystem among the tribal entrepreneurs, so that we can share and exchange the idea, and we can support to each other by making of the local tribal entrepreneur ecosystem. So it will also affect the production and the knowledge as well. And also the in this type of initiative we can do promote the youths also in every section of the society. The sustainable production practices in rural area through promotion of climate friendly and resilient desi variety. Actually, this time what I started, the native seed, grain bank. Actually, through this, we can spread the we can spread, or we can promote sustainable practices through these type of various practices. The native foods, native seeds in every kitchen garden, or everywhere there is a place we can put the native seed which all they comes in a seasonal manner. And the next is the raise consciousness about the sustainable consumption in urban areas for a climate secure future. As in a fast food we can raise the consciousness about the youth among the urban as well in the rural people also, for the climate secure future, using all these the seasonal or the uncultivated, through seasonal and uncultivated this type of the four cotton plants. Low carbon also, it can be it is a low carbon footprint foods. So definitely it's a contribution of the climate friendly resins desi varieties. Read next slide. Next slide, please. Napkin, yeah, napkin. So this is actually the last. Sorry for attending. Show patience from you all side. So this is my the last place, and with this I want to give you the last johar and thank you from Team Ajamemba. The pledge: the save indigenous food for a sustainable future. Healthy and the sustainable foods means a healthy planet and a secured future for our coming generation. The getting back to the roots and traditions means moving ahead. Eat healthy and fight pandemics resolutely. Healthy food means the healthy body and mind of youth, the bricks of the nation building. Finally, the sustainable food means the secure livelihood of the tradition farmers and forest collectors. So very thank you and johar again.
Thank you. Thank you, Aruna, for that. Yeah, if anybody has questions to Aruna or anything that you would like to share, you can unmute yourself and share it directly. Yes, Priyanka.
Hi Arunaji, great initiative. I wish you all the best for all your future projects. Where is the restaurant Aja Member situated? Where is it located?
If you are familiar about the Jharkhand, it is situated in the capital in Jharkhand, that is the Ranchi. So
Okay.
it is the approach road, nearby CM House. From there, CM House, it is hardly on Kanke Road, hardly from there, it is 4 kilometers on Kanke Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that is good. That is good that you are in the main city of Ranchi. I think that is the best part. So do you get support from the Jharkhand state tourism?
Yet it is very disappointing for me actually. Yet I didn't get any support.
Right. Thank you and best of luck. I hope
Okay,
your
welcome.
restaurant
Thank you.
does very good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Are there any more questions? Yes, Elizabeth.
Yeah, hi. Hi, thanks for the presentation. I just wanted to ask you, how do you think, let's say people, non-tribal people should engage with wild foods? Because like, what is the line between, appropriating or, like you mentioned, there can be certain harmful sort of outcomes of, everybody learning about foraging. And so how do you think somebody can, respectfully engage with wild foods?
Actually, now this is actually a question about the this was my plan. I mean, we team they made a plan. So actually, it should go to everybody the kitchen in the garden. They should have actually after doing serving in 3 years. Now we could able to understand what is the demand. Actually, there is a one chutney we generally use to serve here. Now that is kudrum. It's a hibiscus species. The kudrum chutney. You know, the when the season comes, the kudrum, no, and we serve here the kudrum chutney with any items like a pitha or the dhuska. There are lots of the huge demand of the kudrum chutney.
Okay.
And also people are coming and non-tribal people also. In that the idea comes from, if we can do these types of the short types of the grain, the native grain seed concept. So people, they will have their own and they will become more happy if they will have their in kitchen garden. That this type of the flower, or the kudrum flower or the sanai flower, what we are using here in my restaurant. So this was only the concept, and all people are actually, this I made through their demand. People are coming and how they demand the sanai flower bharta, the jirul. What is exactly the jirul flower? What is actually the chakor, what is the, how is the chakor plant, how is the change plant. So people generally they used to ask. And this time when the indigenous day, when the time have in that time, I mean in 2016 when we participated in that time, no, there was a huge gathering of the non-tribal people there, and they were asking and they are very fond about my the local herbs and the local species, any type of curry or mass bhatta or chutney.
Okay, okay. So you're saying they can grow it in.
Yeah, it comes actually season. Just you have to show this. This is there is nothing any. I mean, you know, the labor in that putting that seed, native seeds. Just you can sow. I mean, in your garden. So people
Okay.
actually they will understand what is the plant actually.
Yeah.
What we are eating in Ajamemba. What type
Yeah.
of plant and how it looks.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Aruna, who forages for you for your restaurant?
Sorry.
Who collects the greens for your restaurant?
Myself only. I used to procure or used to go to collect from the rural area or the village heart only. And now it's already I completed 3 years, and now I could able to identify the people, those who are the forest food produce collector, and those who are the, I mean, seasonal leaves and the ye collector. So I'm identifying in while meanwhile the people, those who are the collector and those who are the yeah, growing that seasonal uncultivated. And also I'm in the planning to grow this year only. I planted some native seed also for the sustainable, you know, the comings of that, all these you know, the plants and the herbs.
But I just wanted to find out because recently I'd been to a tribal area, Chota Udaipur, Tejgarh. It's in Gujarat. It borders
Okay,
Madhya Pradesh.
okay, yeah.
And I went to a wedding, a Rathwa community wedding, and they don't eat what the tribals eat. So most of the tribals are also not eating what they know. You know, they are forgetting their food and they are eating what the city people are eating. Or it's very different. When I went there, they were eating like something that the Banyas would eat in Gujarat, like the khaman or dhokla, is not a diet of the tribals. But they all eat that only for occasions and everything. So things are changing. So is it happening? The same situation is happening in Ranchi.
Exactly. This is the same situation. It is happening in Jharkhand also. From my, I mean, from where my bring up, I mean, I gone through all these things. Actually, this is, and when I matured and I started my work among the tribal community, I could understand among the tribal. So I could connect right now. This is actually the pride of having this all this you know, the traditional or the rural food. Actually people are saying in this area also, if we will eat this type of foods na, people will understand that we are very poor. This is the sign of the poor. They assess themselves. When I used to collect earlier, the very first when I started in this you know, in initiative, when I used to go to the rural heart and purchasing all this, the, you know, the millet. The one type of millet we have, the gondli or the ragi, basically the gondli, you know. So people, the rural people, they used to ask me, ki, what you will do is of this gondli. I said, ki, I will eat this. So they were just, were shy, and just they told me, ki, we don't eat this because when we eat this, people will sit with us. कोई भी हमारे से कुटुंब नहीं लगाएगा, क्योंकि people will understand this कि they are very poor people. So this is actually stigma. This is the question of pride when we eat the local uncultivated food like a marj, or we have here chakod jhor. The Unnao people call the chakod jhor. In the Munda people, the same things, it's called the sukti jhor. The very shyfully we people, the rural people, they used to say कि बाप रे, हम लोग कैसे बता दे कि हम लोग सुक्टी झोर खाए हैं, चकोड़ झोर खाए हैं. Unnecessary people will understand कि बेचारा लोग कितना गरीब है, इनके पास खाने के लिए नहीं है, इसीलिए ये लोग चाकोड़ झोर खा रहा है. इनके पास खाने के लिए नहीं है, इसीलिए ये लोग रागी या फिर गोंधली खा रहे हैं. This type of actually mindset people they have here in Jharkhand also, and this is very unfortunate. And what is my main motto? Ki first, this is the first, they should start eating of what they are collecting and what they are growing. They should have understand, they should have pride on that what they have actually. So this is my also the one part of my mission. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question.
I had mango flour chutney over there, and at the museum, it's the tribal museum over there, Bhasha Adivasi
Okay.
Academy, and the one of the tribals had made chutney out of mango flowers, and also wild basil chutney they had made. Yeah, I had that.
Okay. We have time for one more question, one last question before we close the call. It can be a question, it can also be an appreciation for Aruna for the work that she's doing. Aruna, there are some comments that has come for you in the chat box. Divya says, thank you, amazing work. Parinita says, thank you for doing what you do, very inspiring. Dipali says, best wishes for your work, hats off. And Jigisha also says, great work.
So thank you everyone for your wonderful appreciation. Thank you.
And Sayantani says, what you're doing is commendable, Arunaji. Hope to eat at your restaurant someday.
You all are most welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Aruna, for really taking your time out and coming. And you did raise some really pertinent questions and themes about, making wild food mainstream and what are the challenges. So thank you very much for that. And I'm really glad because, there is sometimes what happens is in this work, there's this romantic, wild food is seen as a very romantic thing. So it's also important to talk about the realities of it, that it's not as romantic as we think. It has its own, it has its own challenges.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everyone again, and Johar.
Johar. Okay, everyone, we meet again at 5 o'clock for the next session for Chef Thomas's session. So see you at 4:50. The room will be open by 4:50 and you can join. Okay, see you.